And we're live. Welcome to the Lakers Outsiders podcast. We are still in Vegas, and we feel like it. The offense, I would say, feels the exact same way. You know, the offense was as hungover as I was this morning.
Yeah, it's been very slow developing, not a lot of movement. What I was thinking earlier today was it's kind of like Mark Jackson's offense with Golden State, like they're trying to run things, but it's not. There's nothing that's progressing, and it's so like ISO. It's just ISO focused basketball. I mean, that's kind of why the Lakers scored 5 points in the first quarter today. So I mean, it's been brutal to watch. And the most frustrating thing is that they have talent to use, and they're not using it the right way.
Right. I mean, to me, I think the simplest fair criticism that you can offer about the Lakers right now is how stupid it was that they would imprint or put their entire playbook into 4 days of practice.
Yeah. It's just, it looks like it's overcomplicated for them. The players look frustrated out on the floor. They look and sound even more frustrated in post-game scrums. I'm sure there will be Lakers Nation videos for everybody to look at later with that. And, yeah, it's just like it's not a great vibe coming off the team after the losses. They look like and sound like they're just frustrated. Like they don't understand why they have to play this way, almost. It's the sense that I get. That nobody said that, but that's the sense that I get.
Well, I mean, Gary and I, we watched the games together this weekend, and I mean, there were stretches where the Lakers would fight their way back into the game, and then there were stretches where, you know, they would fall out of the game, and it felt like to me the stretches where they played the best were when they got out and ran, right? I mean, that's when they looked the best and they looked to be having the most fun.
Yeah, well, and that's what this team is built for. You know, when you've got they ran it very briefly, but they had a lineup where it was Clarkson, Russell, Jabari Brown, Randall, and I think Tariq Black. That's a lineup that it's like as soon as you get the ball, just go. You got four of those guys that can push the tempo by themselves, and they just seemed more comfortable when they were able to get out and run, kind of fill the lanes, and just play off the flow a little bit. And, you can just tell how uncomfortable they are when they have to run half-court sets because there's no motion, there's no movement. And, when they're able to get out and run, that's when they've gone these spurts, like a little 6-0 run, 8-0 run, things like that. And they just need to look to do that more often because that's what this team is built for.
Right. When the best analogy I think that I could think of to describe what's going on right now is kind of like speaking a brand new language where, like for me in Spanish, I have family who all speak Spanish. That's all they speak. So when I talk to them, I listen to what they say in Spanish. I translate it to English, and then I think about what I'm going to say in English, and I translate it to Spanish, and then finally say it brokenly back to my family. And all throughout the conversation, you see those stumbling blocks, and that's what I'm watching with the Lakers right now. Is they're thinking about literally everything they're doing on the court.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what D'Angelo Russell means with this hashtag loading. It's like it's still like they're loading the offense right now. You can see the bar going above their head. They're trying to run it. It's like, oh, this guy's here. The defense made this rotation, so that guy, where is he? So, okay, that guy's going to be over there, and I got to pass him the ball. And it just looks, it's robotic. There's no flow to it. And so that's not to say that can't come with time, but it's just right now it's pretty depressing to watch.
Well, and it's with such the team is built to get out and run. You look at the guys on their roster, they're a fast team. They're a small, fast, small ball team. Get out and move, and you're not seeing that with these guys. And you said something interesting before we came on the air today. You were in the scrum, and you saw Randall broken essentially.
He didn't look or sound good. He just looks really, really frustrated with his shot not falling and just the lack of rhythm after coming back after an injury, and it was a little sad to see how kind of upset he was with himself. But it's also at the same time it's encouraging to see a player that wants to win a preseason game and play well in a preseason game that badly. But yeah, I mean the mood around the team tonight was just not great. It was a funeral.
Well, so We talked about Randall. I want to kind of shift over to Russell now. We've seen 3 games of him. We've seen plenty of what like bust is probably trending on Lakers Twitter right now, right? And I don't think that's anywhere near fair.
Oh no, it's we're 3 games into the summer. I mean,
it's about as reasonable as wanting to erect a bust of D'Angelo Russell outside of Staples Center based off of these 3 games. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's so early, and like we've talked about before. I mean, leading up to the draft, the whole idea was Okafor was going to be the better player right away, but Russell could be the better player long term. And it makes no sense why everybody's freaking out when Russell is struggling going through this learning process. Because it is. It's harder for guards, to pick up with the speed of the game, and he has to orchestrate this offense. And it's an offense that none of the players obviously know how to run yet. So he's trying to orchestrate all that, and I think he's just learning that these closing lanes they close much quicker than they did in college, and some of these home run plays they're not there like they were last year for him. So he's just it's just going to be a process. He's going to have to learn those things and just kind of learn how to adjust and really incorporate the adjustments into his game. So, it's just going to take some time. It could take a couple of years. The number I always give young guys is 3 years. But that 3rd year is usually the crossover point of whether they're going to be good or they just don't have it. That's kind of how it was with Anthony Davis, in his different position. But that 3rd year, he took a huge leap. He just figured it out. So it's just going to take some time. I think it'll be better during the regular season when Kobe's there, because Kobe isn't going to run this offense consistently. He's just going to hijack it and do whatever he wants. That might benefit these guys a little.
I think the point you made about Okafor was good. I really agree with that. That the expectations again, just they run wild for whatever with Laker fans, and we're seeing it with this guy. You should have heard the crowd around us talking about Russell. It was maddening. I don't know if you could get it as much there with on Media Row, but where we were sitting, we were surrounded by all these people, and it's just I'm writing this article, and I hope I didn't just write the F word a zillion times thinking of what these fans were saying about a 19-year-old kid learning an offense in 4 days.
Well, going back to Gary's point about people already forgetting that this was kind of what we had talked about going into the draft. Jahlil Okafor was going to be more impressive from day one. D'Angelo Russell was going to maybe he does have a higher ceiling. We don't really know. That's debatable, but that it was going to take him a little bit more time to reach that ceiling, whatever it is. And we are in Vegas, so people may be having short-term memory problems. It's entirely possible that the fan base in these arenas may not be the most reasonable or well-thinking right now sample size. But yeah, I was seeing it on Twitter for sure. And I think that's with sports. Some people want to get they want to get really mad and they want to come up with jump to conclusions after one game. And
that's the thing I learned as a sports fan for however many years I have. Is everybody gets caught up in it. It's always what happened right now. It's not what could happen in the future or in the past. Always caught up in it. So it's what it is.
Yeah, basically this weekend was just a weekend for Russell. I'm not really going to take much moving forward with it. I think the biggest thing is, it happened again today, for example, where he's playing with Tark Black and they run a high pick and roll, and yet yesterday, the last game they played 2 days ago when they last played, George, I remember last, but the last time they played, Russell looked like he was going to go to a shot, wound up lobbing a pass over the top of the defense that would have gotten Tark Black a wide open dunk, basically. Same exact play happens today on the opposite end of the court, and I just think he'll play better with better players, which is the Kobe's, the Hibberts. He won't be playing as much with Tark Black, and then just the time it takes to get used to some of the best athletes in the world.
Yeah. You'll be happy to hear that after the game, Madsen pretty much chalked it up to his exact words. I don't remember what the question was, but he just said it was a bad decision to give them a free day in Vegas. So, they weren't exactly chomping at the bit to take responsibility for maybe the offense was a little bit too complicated. But knowing Madsen, he probably just thinks this whole city's an abomination.
On the other side of the court, we watched Kristaps Porzingis for the first time today. We saw him 3 stretches at most. I was surprised I actually saw him in the fourth quarter. I didn't think he was going to come back in. What were your impressions immediately? Is he going to be a bust, or is he going to be the greatest player of all time? You can only pick one of them.
Well, my first impression was he's really long, really long. Anthony and I were sitting pretty close to the court, sitting about center court, and yeah, I mean he's really long. He's like a legit 7'2", 7'3", so he has to get a lot stronger. There was a sequence where he tried to seal Jordan Clarkson in the paint, and Clarkson pushed him out to about the 3-point line. So, so he's got to get stronger. But I was impressed. I was impressed with his skill set. Like I was telling you during the game, there was a sequence where he caught the ball and Tarek Black was waiting for him. And instead of just going up right away, he actually pivoted and stepped through to get Tarek Black on his left shoulder so he could go up with his right hand. Like little things like that. Like he just understands the game pretty well. And, he looks really good. He's really skilled, and that's his size and mobility. That's going to be a nightmare for teams down the road.
And I just, for me, I think the biggest thing I was the most pleased by watching him was just the complete confidence he looked like he had out there. He got drafted by New York, which is probably the toughest city in the NBA to play in. And as soon as he was drafted, he had a whole bunch of people booing him. He made a little kid cry,
Oh, he took a selfie of himself.
yeah. So awful. Oh, speaking of selfies, I tweeted this right before the game, but how many people have these selfie sticks is just mind-boggling to me here in Vegas. You should what picture could you possibly take of you sitting in a damn bleachers? How many times do you need to take that picture? Wow, they made a great play. It's over there, but look at me. Come on.
I felt like I needed a selfie stick to take a picture of Robert Upshaw outside the building. We was fortunate enough to meet Robert Upshaw and shake his hand, and he is massive. So
yeah.
I felt like I needed one with him.
He shook Gary's hand, and I was a little bit worried that we might never see Gary's hand ever again.
His hand was basically the size of like my entire forearm. It was crazy. But he's a really, really nice guy. Really
nice guy. I got that vibe off of him. So yeah, about Porzingis, I mean, there's for as much as you can take from a 20-minute game, were you paying much attention to him out there, or were you just sitting there crying about the offense?
Yeah, no, I was watching him. To me, he seemed like a combination of Dirk, Durant, and like prime
Spud Webb.
Yeah, Spud Webb, sure. No, but he wasn't that. But he was. I was impressed with how polished he was. He definitely was the most. I don't think it's controversial at all to say he was the most impressive player on the floor today. Yeah,
and that's even with playing such short minutes.
I thought he was pretty good defensively too.
He leverages his length excellently. Yeah. He has like great timing on what like an underrated defensive skill is just like timing when you're getting your arms up and like not like knowing exactly when you need to do that to affect the shot. And he seems to already have like a really great sense for that.
Yeah. So I mean that's big things. I'm pulling for Porzingis. I think it's always tough for me for foreign players to come over here and deal with a completely new environment. And if he can handle that in New York while playing for such a crappy team as New York looks to have, and then still turn it around, that's pretty damn special. That's quite the accomplishment.
I just want him to get rid of this. Like every European has to be a bust, like stereotype that there seems to be. It's like if you have a European name, you're automatically going to be terrible in the NBA, and that's just really ethnocentric.
Yeah, I mean, take you guys behind the curtain here a little bit. This curtain here, maybe for example, but Harrison's actual name is Kristaps Harrison's, and we actually changed it, just so that people would calm down about such a high acquisition, on a foreign player. So. You can now come out and you can live with your actual name now.
So was Chad Ford hyping you on?
He was, yeah. Porzingis for sure. So
I was wondering why I was walking around this weekend, and it was like, yeah, Harrison, way to go! You're doing a great job in these scrums. I don't even know chat boards here, but
yeah, no, that's pretty impressive. And yeah, I saw Ford in a Harrison's jersey earlier today. That was pretty cool. All right, so we are just about all to embark from Vegas. My body cannot take any more. My brain feels like mush, hence the Harrison's joke. This is all of our first times doing the Summer League thing, and I think, I already had crazy high expectations, but it exceeded that. Right? What was your favorite part of coming out here to Vegas?
I mean, the whole experience has been amazing, but just watching the young talent play is really exciting because for me personally, like I didn't win to City Laker games in person last year. So it was the first time seeing guys like Clarkson, Tarek Black, and Julius Randle, and getting to see Russell play. It's like all these guys that we're so excited about, for the future. Getting to see them play now has been it's been fantastic. I mean, especially Jordan Clarkson. I've really enjoyed watching him play. But yeah, it's just been fun. We're all basketball junkies, so even watching some of the other young prospects has been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed watching Towns, Okafor, seeing the league's future firsthand. It's been a treat.
And it's a bright future. Right. What would you say your favorite part of coming out here and experiencing all this? And it's your first time being credentialed, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, that part of it has just been awesome, and I got to thank everybody at SB Nation who helped make that happen. Just like as someone who wants to do this for a living, getting back to for the first time and go back there and interview players and just be around and it's not even when I'm credentialed in the scrums too. It's like around these guys and around all the other SB Nation bloggers and every other writer that we've met up with out here. There's just so much incredible talent covering the NBA that I mean, I don't think there's another sport that has as many people that really just know their stuff covering it, excluding us three. We try.
Right. I mean, last night I hung out with all the guys there at the SB Nation house till, some ungodly hour. And, we just sat up just talking basketball. And it wasn't just the Lakers, it was around the entire league. And all these guys, we were able to have, full-blown, nuanced conversations that you don't necessarily get to have in 140 characters. And yeah, the people aspect of this has been incredible. So my advice for everybody who, if you do want to do this in some capacity moving forward, if you are, close...
Give up. We don't need the competition.
Exactly. Yeah, good luck. I mean, you just heard him say that there's so much talent out here in this. I'm just kidding. No, but get out here to Vegas and cover this Summer League. Even if you can't get credentialed, you'll bump into people who are like-minded and passionate about the sport. And I hope anybody who, if you are out here right now, reach out to us or at me or whatever, and I'll try to get over and buy you a beer.
Yeah, we've been meeting up with people. If you do get credentialed, my one piece of advice to you, I finally figured it out my third scrum. You want to, after every player veteran move, you want to switch arms that you're doing tape recorded with, because otherwise you're getting muscle spasms by the end of the night. I'm telling you, those athletes, they can talk about how hard their job is, but I have to hold a 2-pound thing up this high for 3 minutes, and it's just really hard. It's hard out here.
Oh man, hard out here for a pimp, huh?
Yeah.
I think another takeaway we have to acknowledge is just the Laker fans. The turnout here has been amazing because of the Lakers. I mean, we were 2 games early today, and the stadium. It was somewhat full, the lower level, but it was somewhat full because of Laker fans. And then as the game got closer, it filled up. They had to open up the upper deck again. And from what we've heard in years past, they've never done that. Mm-hmm. And this year, they literally had to create more seats because so many Laker fans were out here. And this goes to show, the brand, is still strong and everything. And Laker fans they represent their team extremely well.
Well, we were, like you said, we were just crunched into this little lower bowl area. And one of the guys that was, immediately over my right shoulder, is a Nuggets fan, or sounded like a Nuggets fan, and was on his phone.
Why was he not at the game? The Nuggets were playing. Did he not know where Cox Pavilion was?
And so, yeah, we were sitting there, and he was there on his phone as his team, who has Emmanuel Mudiay, who is an extremely fun and up-and-coming talent that's probably going to be the face of this franchise for the next decade plus. And instead of going there to watch that game, he was interested in probably the Knicks and Lakers playing against each other. But he wanted to see these guys. And when people complain about the Lakers being on national TV so much, that's right there is why.
At least this year there's a legitimate reason other than just fan interest.
Yeah.
Because this year they'll at least be somewhat entertaining. Last year I did feel bad for the other fans that wanted the better game on. But yeah, you understand why the networks do it. The dedication is unbelievable of these fans, and fair or not fair to boo after a first quarter when they're not playing well in summer league. You can just tell how engaged these people are and how much they live and die with the team, and that's just really cool to witness as someone who spends as much time as we do caring about this stuff and trying to write about it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we do this, because of the passion that the Lakers have. There's 6 reputable Lakers websites out there, and all of them have a crazy audience. So. That's why. That's that when people were.
Are you counting us on that?
No. No, we're just one of those guys. But we, when people were throwing dirt on the Lakers brand, reports of its demise were greatly exaggerated. I think that's pretty weird.
This weekend has definitely put that into
rest. 4 points.
I won't tell the joke.
That's don't even.
It's a good one.
I had to hear it earlier.
It's a good one. It's pretty impressive that Mark Twain overcame his speaking impediment. To go by Mark Twain. So anyway, on that note, that's us signing off from Vegas.
Yeah,
that's what we dive is going to be us signing off from Vegas.
Harrison just died a little inside. I'm gonna, just walk over here. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching and stuff. Thanks. It was nice meeting you guys in person.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna, just